All right, and we're back with the program. It's Gerald coming right back at you here, and it is almost that time. The conferences are just about ready to start. In fact, some have started already, especially when you're talking about Google Stadia, and it just about ready to get started this weekend with some great conferences for E3 with all the hopes and dreams of every video gamer out there, and of course, when you're talking about video games, you're talking about also one of the major movers and shakers of the actual video game industry and landscape of where video games are going, and that's Nintendo. And Nintendo has done such a great job over the course of the past couple of years, really doing some really good things when it comes to the Nintendo Switch, providing their consumers with a lot to choose from there, games that have been a pretty good success for them, and as of now, Nintendo Switch is currently the number one selling console out in the marketplace. You could pretty much say at this point in time because the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One are going a little bit on the downside because of their age, getting a little bit older now. The Nintendo Switch is newer, so it's the big kid on the market. And here to talk to me about what he thinks will go on at E3 in regards to some announcements Nintendo will make is my good friend. He's returning like promised. He is the man behind Mario Party Wars. You got to check out what all those crazy kids are doing today at Mario Party Wars on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and so much more. You got to catch even all their Twitch streams, all the action that goes on. If you're involved in esports in any way, shape, or form, especially in the Las Vegas area, you got to hit them up at MPW. It is my good friend, back once again, Mr. Salvador Villa. What's up, my friend?
It's good to be back, Gerald. How are you? I'm doing good.
I'm good. I'm good. Getting all psyched for a wonderful E3 coming up. Like I said, the conferences are already all underway by the time people are listening to this. So I want to ask you first, my friend, with Nintendo just around the corner, ready to go ahead and share their wares on what's coming up, what is the big thing that you're looking forward to when it comes to announcements or stuff that's already being talked about when it comes to Nintendo and the Nintendo Switch?
So it's looking to be interesting this year, considering things like Sony not being there or having a press conference this year, among like other like pretty interesting changes that are going on for E3. But in terms of Nintendo, uh, definitely the fact that a third Luigi's Mansion is coming out. I'm looking forward to that because I wasn't expecting a third sequel, but it's a great series. The 3DS one, but like to me, it was all right. I honestly preferred the GameCube version. The original one it's always a classic. And for anyone who hasn't played it, I recommend definitely getting Luigi's Mansion if you haven't had to play it. But seeing the fact that there's a third one coming out in the series, I'm wondering how that's going to be, especially because it's going to be on the Switch. It's going to be using the new style of motion control for the new controllers that they have. So I'm looking forward to that. And then also, I mean, they're going to be announcing about the new Animal Crossing, so for the Switch, and that should be something interesting. Actually, oh my God, I haven't even played Animal Crossing in years. I'm honestly looking forward to it though, because I've only played the first one, but like I was obsessed with the first one when it first came out. It's just an interesting like simulator kind of game, almost like The Sims, but instead you're managing a town or you're managing your house or doing both and interacting with everyone. So it's a nice little kind of simulator game if you're into those kind of games. Then we've got Pokemon and Shield and Sword, obviously.
November 15th for that one. November 15th.
Oh, yeah. And then we've already seen some of the new releases of the new Pokemon that are going to be out. Like
the legendaries.
The legendaries, which I wasn't expecting it to be that. Like they look almost like I'm trying to remember the name of the other legendaries. I ended up skipping a few generations. They remind me of a few, but otherwise, one of them holding a sword, and then one of them having a shield that's like their neck collar kind of thing. So I mean, I like the designs overall though, but like I can tell the Raven and that sheep Pokemon, which I still need to get its name, are like the big things going on in the Pokemon world. Like everyone's talking about those two specific Pokemon. So I think the new lineup for this generation is going to definitely be something to look out for. Along with this, I am still wondering if they are actually going to come out with a new Nintendo Switch model because it's been talked about. It's
Yes, yes.
there's no confirmation about it just yet, but maybe Nintendo might pull something at E3 and they might actually discuss it. But I mean, in overall honesty, I am hoping. I don't think it's likely, but I'm hoping they might announce something for like new Joy Cons that will come out. This I mean, the current ones are awesome, but they also have a bit of issues with them wearing out very very quickly, and they're also expensive still in the market. So I'm hoping they might come out with something new in regards to their controllers, and well, seeing what happens with those, and if they offer new features or whatever, or maybe they're cheaper but more. Uh, they're not as easy to break, basically. But yeah, those are just some of the things I'm definitely looking forward to in regards to Nintendo. Or
You
even like, oh, go ahead, go ahead.
You mentioned as far as a new Switch, and Josh and I have talked about this previously on the show with possibly even two models, not one,
Yep.
but two models, a higher priced and a lower priced unit than the one that's currently out on the marketplace, possibly on the way coming from Switch if it gets announced. Do you think they're just going to go with one, or do you think the rumored two possibly lower end and higher end unit be actually be a reality that E3 will announce, or do you think they'll just stick to one that's maybe a little bit more powerful that will help be able to translate games a lot better and a lot faster? Because as you and I have seen, there's been a lot of ports to the Nintendo Switch, and in
Mm-hmm.
some cases, some of those ports have not been done very well, or it's not translated very well by the Nintendo Switch, and there's been a lot of issues with that when those games get ported over to the Switch format.
Right. So knowing Nintendo, at least just based off their handhelds, I can definitely see them taking the two-way route, one of a higher end and one of a lower end, in similar ways of how like the 3DS had the XL, and then you also had like the 2DS, which is just like a miniature version of it. So I kind of see them leaning in that direction, where like the higher end will probably have like better capabilities, might even include a larger screen or maybe better battery lifesaver. And then the other one will be, well, I don't know how the lower price one would go, but they'll probably be coming up with something. But I definitely do see them taking more of a two-way route and giving more options for people as a whole.
That's awesome. Once again I'm with Salvador Villa from Mario Party Wars. You got to check out his awesome group today on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. Just type in Mario Party Wars and it comes right up for you. I got to ask more on what you on well, speaking of ports, I know there's a lot of rumors and hearsay as far as possible games that could be coming to Nintendo Switch that fans have really been clamoring for. I know a lot of buzz has come around CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077 for the big consoles in Xbox One and PlayStation 4, but there's also a rumor that The Witcher 3, the game that really put them on the map, could be coming to the Nintendo Switch. Have you heard those same rumors? And if that's the case, what do you think that will do to more solidify or actually just really keep people's eyes on what Nintendo Switch is actually doing if it gets a quality game like that?
So I remember hearing about this particular kind of thing. I think like once or twice. I know I've heard it just on and off. Um, if they can definitely work out a game like that, like a really big third party game that has done so well with PlayStation and the Xbox and everything, I definitely see if Nintendo continues that direction and they're able to like actually get massive support on ports from other companies that they normally couldn't get in the past. It's really showing Nintendo's massive support on the fact that a mobile style kind of game, kind of system is becoming the new phenomenon for what consumers, what gamers specifically want. And if they can actually get the right kind of support for being able to run it, it's gonna like just give Nintendo so many opportunities for future ports from Microsoft even, or maybe even from PlayStation, considering things like the fact that they're getting Marvel Ultimate Alliance on the Switch, and that's going to be exclusive to the Switch as far as I'm aware of. So there's those kind of things that are going for them. The fact that Microsoft and Nintendo are kind of building a cloud-based relationship, and we're going to see ports from like already starting with Cuphead from Microsoft going for Nintendo Switch. So I see so many big opportunities for Nintendo with the way the direction is going if they keep up the capabilities that they kind of run bigger games that they normally couldn't do in the past.
That that is some you're right on the money. Exactly. The future is looking a lot brighter when it comes to what is in store for the Nintendo Switch if they can go ahead and really provide consumers with a quality game or ports that can go ahead and translate well onto the system without too much trouble, because as we've seen with Skyrim and some other games like the latest WWE that was on there as well, I know there's been a lot of issues with the way it was ported and the fact that the games at times can be unplayable on the Nintendo Switch. If that's the case and the Nintendo Switch does get other models in the SKU, as far as one higher, maybe one lower, or both, that's that concern, what does that do for the base model Nintendo Switch? Do you see a price drop on it? Do you see a price drop as early as E3? Do you see something in the future for the regular Nintendo Switch, or do you see them phasing that out in the long run for the models or models that you think Nintendo might be announcing upcoming at E3?
So I don't see them getting rid of the original model anytime soon. It's been their main support line. It's been that successful. So I'm pretty sure they would want to see how their potential new models will go first and how well they do, depending on like what they'll be releasing. But I definitely do see a price drop. Maybe not right off the bat, but I could definitely see it probably a few months from now, toward the holiday season at the end of 2018. I could definitely see the price drop starting going from there. But yeah, I do want to see Nintendo trying to push the limits of what Switch can do on capabilities and furthering the new opportunities for them through that.
Once again, it is Salvador Villa from Mario Party Wars. Check out his awesome group today on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. One last question to ask you, my friend. When it comes to whatever it is you're doing, and you guys are always up to something at Mario Party Wars, tell everybody out there again why Mario Party Wars is the place to go for a lot of fun, entertaining action, and a lot of great things when it comes to not only Mario Party, but the esports, I guess, experience, and also tabletop experience as well.
Yeah, so we actually a big supporter of everything about games. While esports is our big thing, and we focus more on games that currently don't have an esports scene, we're wanting to build that up ourselves. And we started off with Mario Party, and we're going to be branching out to a lot more. But along with that, you can see us heavily involved in other gaming related matters, whether it's about Nintendo, whether it's about esports, whether it's about community related events or collaborations of things that others want to do or that we would do, and inviting others out. You'll see us doing events all the time, all over Vegas. We're about to go out to our first out of state opportunity with Game On Expo, so we're actually branching off even beyond Vegas. But just follow us on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You could catch up with us and see everything that we're doing. And if you love everything about gaming, yep, tabletop, esports, or any other kind of gaming related things that are around, just come find us and get involved with us if you're interested.
And that's again Mario Party Wars on Facebook, Twitter, and of course on Instagram. Lots of pictures there for Instagram as well. You know what? And if you're out there and you see when you see him at a convention, because you're going to Game On in Arizona, correct?
Yep, in Mesa.
That's correct. Yep. Absolutely. If you see him out there or any of the any of the events that Mario Party Wars takes care of as far as either UNLV, the Hyper Esports Arena here in Las Vegas, GameWorks in Las Vegas, or anywhere else, and you see him out there, just say hi. You know what? You might get caught in his selfie, in one of his selfies. So he is known for selfies, this guy right here. And if you're in like Flint with him, you know what? You'll get involved with a selfie with him. And you know what? He's a great guy. He'll always come and talk to you. He's always upbeat. He's always so positive, and he's always just a great joy to be around. You know what? It is, again, my good friend Salvador Villa, the man behind Mario Party Wars. Tell you what, it's always great to hear your thoughts on tabletop gaming and also what's going on in the video game scene and esports scene with you, my friend. It's just so hard to keep up with you. You're doing so much. It's just so exciting to even hear all the great stuff you're doing, my friend.
Yeah, honestly, I never thought I'd end up going this far with what I started was just with a group of friends, and I pretty much have built so many opportunities from it. And it's just a great thing to have started.
I'll tell you what,
And
when I'm roaming the halls at the Licensing Expo 2019 like I did, and I run into a group, and the way we actually bond is over Salvador Villa and Mario Party Wars, you know you've made your mark here in the Las Vegas gaming scene. My friend, it's just great to talk to you about everything Nintendo, and always great to have you a part of the pop culture cosmos.